one of the most frequently asked questions is, how can someone say they love you and create so much distance and neglect? Now, of course, then how does someone who has no history of IA move into the same ability to rationalize some of the same behaviors? Of course. Now, let me share with you something I learned along the way in my 35 years of treating addicts and anorexics. And this is that there are basically two operating systems that humans run off of. And this is really important for you to get this, because if you are reactive and you moved into the other system, you will feel it, okay? The addict, the anorexic, is able to go between the two systems, which I'm going to help explain in the next session. Now, let me briefly go over both of these operating systems. And let me first go over the operating system that we come with prior to being abused, neglected, raped, addicted, or other traumas that have happened in your life that has caused you to shift, okay? Now, this original operating system for humans, I call it the relational operating system. It has a few rules to it. Number one, people have value. Okay, people have value. Number two, there are rules. Number three, there are consequences if you break the rules, okay? Now, this person lives their life conscious of others having value. They don't try to hurt people. They accept responsibility if they, make a mistake, a gaffe, or have poor judgment, even if it includes having consequences. Now, this is how most people operate that are not addicted, not anorexic, not injured, okay? And most of their life reflects that. They're the same values at home that their children, that their spouse has value, that their friends, their neighbors, all the people in their community have value. And they treat them with respect, okay? Now, the second operating system is the object operating system, okay? This way of doing life, this way of processing life, okay, is exactly the opposite, okay? So opposite that someone who is running a relational operating system can't even imagine that people actually operate like this, or think this way, or feel this way. However, people who have experienced abuse, neglect, and trauma, they had to survive to be able to absorb or avoid the trauma. Now, here's the basics of the object operating system, and it's exactly the reverse. People have no value, and this is why you can do all kinds of things, because people have no value. Number two, there are no rules. Okay, they're kind of a god to themselves. They decide how reality should be, and there should be no consequences for their behaviors, although they might think differently about others doing exactly the same thing. Now, they're often wounded people trying to do life. They strip others of their values of being a soul and reduce people to being objects to be avoided, objects to be manipulated, or capitalized on based on the function that this object is in their life. Now, this person is living more like a video game kind of lifestyle than a relational one. As an IA, they can operate in both systems. Now, this makes it more confusing because everyone loves your IA spouse, okay? They love him at work, they love him in the community, he's a great neighbor. They think they're wonderful, and they find it really difficult to believe that this person is avoiding you, not connecting to you, or actually intentionally causing you pain. They would be, well, that's not Charlie, that's not Susie, that's not what I get from them. Now, as a reactive IA, you could move into object relationship approach with your IA spouse. It could go like internally, well, they don't give me value or respect, so I won't give them value or respect. They do these withholding behaviors to me, so it's fine if I play the same game. They don't get called out on it and have no consequences and never have to admit it, so why should I? Then, as a reactive IA, you're moving to an object approach with your spouse only. They have no value. I can do this as I wish, and I should have no consequences. This starts seeping into the way you relate to them. Then you've moved to the ability to go in and out of both operating systems. which would be another possible indicator that reactive IA is active in your life, or that you've gone to the other stage of this and you are actually IA yourself. Because someone who's not IA doesn't operate out of an object relationship, generally speaking. They might, and if they're an addict of some type, they might, okay? But if they don't have an addictive personality or have addictions in their life, people have value, you treat them with respect, you honor them, you try to do the right thing. You know, you don't want to hurt other people. That's kind of the way you do your life. But if you've moved from that with your spouse, now everyone else thinks you're wonderful too. If you've moved that way with your spouse, you might consider that you are reactive IA, or that you've truly moved beyond that and you're IA. And if you are, there's hope, there's healing, and we'll continue to talk through that.